Adora's phone buzzed for the 100th time that day as she glanced at the screen with a satisfied smirk. Her latest TikTok video was blowing up. She had just nailed the trending dance challenge, and the comments were flooding in. Queen of the vibes, Adora for the crown, you are my inspiration, lady. She was on the cusp of hitting 50,000 followers, a milestone she had been dreaming of for months. For Adora, TikTok wasn't just an app, it was her escape, a chance to shine, to be more than just a wife and a mother, living in a bungalow in Nsukka. But the very thing that brought her joy was starting to unravel her life. It started softly, a missed dinner here, a forgotten school pickup there. At first, her husband, Emeka, brushed it off. She's just excited about her videos, he told herself. But when Kamsi, their 5-year-old daughter, sat on the steps of her school for 2 hours one rainy afternoon, waiting for Adora to pick her up, Emeka had enough. You forgot Kamsi again, Adora, Emeka said that evening, his voice tight with restrained anger. Adora barely looked up from her phone, where she was editing her latest video. I said I am sorry now. I just lost track of time. Emeka slammed his hands on the table, startling her. Lost track of time? She was drenched in the rain, crying. While other kids slept with their parents, you didn't think she would remember that? Adora rolled her eyes, her patience wearing thin. Why are you making a big deal out of this? She's fine, isn't she? Emeka stared at her. Disbelief ached on his face. Adora, you weren't always like this. You used to care about this family. Now all you care about is your phone and strangers who don't even know you. Adora's jaw tightened. You don't get it, do you? This is my chance to be someone, to have a voice, to do something meaningful. Meaningful? Emeka said, laughing bitterly. You think dancing in your living room for likes is meaningful? What about your daughter? What about me? When was the last time we sat together and had the real conversation? Adora stood, her anger bubbling to the surface. You don't think I do enough? I take care of this house. I take care of Kamsi. And now I'm building something for myself. But no, it's never enough for you. Emeka shook his head, his expression unreadable. You're not building anything, my dear Adora. You are destroying everything. That night, Emeka's mother called. Mama, I can't do this anymore, he said, his voice heavy with exhaustion. Mama, Emeka sighed on the other end of the line. Nnam, you know I warned you about marrying her. She was always too flashy, too focused on appearances. Now see what it has come to. Emeka rubbed his temples. I don't need you to say this. I told you so, Mama. I need advice. What do I do? Bring Kamsi here, she said firmly. At least the child will be cared for. As for Adora, maybe losing her family will wake her up. Meanwhile, Adora was oblivious to the brewing storm. She spent the next morning perfecting her latest content, an elaborate kit that involved multiple costume changes. The living room was a mess, with clothes, wigs, and props scattered everywhere. She barely noticed Kamsi tugging on her skirt. Mommy, I am hungry, Kamsi said softly. In a minute, honey. Hold on, Adora replied, distractedly, not looking away from her phone. In a minute, Kamsi wandered off, her little stomach rumbling as Adora continued filming. By the time she was done, it was nearly 2 p.m. Realizing she hadn't eaten either, she rummaged through the fridge for leftovers. It wasn't until Emeka stormed into the house that she remembered something important. "Where is Kamsi?" he demanded, his voice loud enough to make Adora jump. Adora blinked, confused. "She's somewhere, I think. Emeka's face darkened. "She's not here. She's at school. You forgot to pick her up again." Adora's heart sank. She glanced at the clock. It was well past the school's closing time. "Emeka, I'm sorry," she stammered, grabbing her keys. "It's too late," he said, his voice cold. "I have already picked her up. She's at my mother's house now, where she'll actually be looked after." Later that evening, Adora's mother, Mama Nkechi, showed up unannounced. "I heard what happened," she said, setting her handbag down with a stud. "Adora, what is wrong with you?" "Not you too, Mama," Adora groaned, collapsing onto the couch. "Yes, me too." Mama Nkechi shot back. "You are playing with fire, my daughter. A good man like Emeka doesn't come around every day. Do you think those your TikTok followers will hold your hands when you are lonely and old?" Adora frowned. "Mama, this isn't about Emeka. This is about me. For once in my life, I am doing something for myself." Mama Nkechi folded her arms, her expression stern. "And in doing something for yourself, you are losing everyone else. Is it worth it?" Before Adora could respond, Emeka walked in. His face was set in a hard line, and his voice was calm but firm. "Mama Nkechi, you are welcome. I respect you, but this conversation is pointless. Adora doesn't want to hear it, and besides, I have made my decision." Adora sat up, alarmed. "What decision?" Emeka met her gaze. "I am leaving, Adora, and I am taking Kamsi with me. I will come back for my things tomorrow." Adora's heart raced. "You can't just leave now." "I can," he replied simply, "and I will." The next day, Emeka's siblings came over to help him pack. Adora watched helplessly as they moved furniture and boxed up belongings. One of his sisters, Amara, smirked at her. "TikTok influencer Abi. Maybe you will go viral with the video about how you lost your husband." Adora clenched her fist, fighting back tears. "Stay out of it, Amara." "Why should I?" Amara shot back. "You brought this upon yourself. Emeka deserves better self." By the time they were done, the house felt empty, hollow. Adora sat on the couch, staring at the cracked mirror on the wall. Her reflection was distorted. A woman who had traded her family for a flirting online fame. Adora sat alone in silence. Her only company, the glow of her phone screen. The emptiness around her was palpable. Yet she drowned it with a flood of comments and likes on her latest TikTok post. Life offline was a disaster, but online she was still a star. Her fans cheered on her, their words of admiration like balm to her wounded pride. "Adora, you are the queen of TikTok. Don't let the haters bring you down. Your husband is just jealous of your success." Their encouragement gave her a false sense of validation, fueling her need to prove that she was right, and the world her husband included was wrong. Days turned into weeks, and Adora threw herself deeper into TikTok. She created elaborate kits, partnered with other influencers, and even started monetizing her content. The money trickling in was a small comfort, enough to convince her that she was doing something worthwhile. But the cracks in her life widened. Kamsi's absence haunted her, especially during quiet moments. She missed her daughter's laughter, the bedtime stories, and even the chaos of trying to get her ready for school. But instead of comforting her feelings, Adora buried them under the glittering world of TikTok. Her house was a mess. Dishes piled up in the sink, Laundry went undone, and the fridge was almost empty. The loneliness was deafening, but Adora ignored it, choosing to fill the void with followers, likes, and endless scrolling. The turning point came one morning when Adora posted a heartfelt video about saying truth to herself. In the video, she danced in her living room, smiling brightly as if the world wasn't falling apart behind the scene. The comments, however, were unforgiving. Is this the same woman who lost her husband and child to TikTok? What kind of mother prioritizes strangers over her own daughter? Adora, your life is falling apart. Stop pretending. The harsh words hit harder than her expected. For the first time, the approval she sought online felt hollow. She tried to shrug it off, but the words clung to her, chipping away at the facade she had built. One afternoon, as she was brainstorming her next video, her phone buzzed with a call. It was her sister, Chidinma. Adora, what are you even doing to yourself? Chidinma's voice was sharp, cutting through the hairs Adora had wrapped herself in. Adora sighed, leaning back against the couch. Not you too, Biko Chidinma. I have had enough lectures from everyone. You think this is a lecture? This is a wake-up call, Chidinma snapped. Do you even know what people are saying about you? Our mother can't walk to church without someone whispering about her TikTok daughter. And Emeka? He's broken. Adora, he won't even talk about you anymore. Adora's chest tightened. He will come around. He just needs time. Time for what? Chidinma pressed. For you to realize that followers don't replace family. Adora, your daughter barely asks about you anymore. She's growing used to her life without you. Is this what you want? The words felt like a slap, and for a moment, Adora couldn't breathe. She ended the call, tossing her phone onto the coffee table. But the silence that followed was louder than any accusation Chidinma could have thrown at her. Adora tried to push forward. She filmed more videos, partnered with new influencers, and even bought better equipment to elevate her content. But the spark was gone. Her creativity felt forced. Her smile strained. The numbers were growing, but so was the criticism. One day, as she scrolled through her comments, she came across a particular cutting one. It's so sad to see someone destroy their life for 15 seconds of fame. You used to be inspiring, Adora. Now you're just a cautionary tale. Her hands trembled as she set her phone down. The words echoed in her mind. Was this really what she had become? One late night, as Adora sat in her empty living room, she stumbled upon an old video of herself, Emeka, and Kamsi. They were laughing as they tried to bake a cake together, flour covering their faces, and the kitchen a complete mess. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she realized how far she had drifted from the version of herself. She missed them. She missed the warmth of family, the joy of small moments. Adora knew she had to make a change. The next morning, she sat down and filmed the video unlike any she had ever done before. There was no filter, no music, no skits, just Adora, raw and vulnerable. Hi everyone, she began, her voice trembling. I have been on this platform for a while now, and it's been an incredible journey. But somewhere along the way, I lost something of what truly mattered. My daughter, my marriage. She paused, wiping away a tear. I thought this platform would give me purpose, but instead it became a distraction. I have hurt the people I love the most, and I need to fix that. So this is my last video. I am stepping away to focus on my family and on being the wife and mother they deserve. Adora uploaded the video and turned off her phone. She didn't want to see the immediate backlash she knew would follow. When she finally turned her phone back on the next day, her notifications were overwhelming. Some fans were supportive. "Adora, we miss you, but family comes first. Good luck." This takes so much courage. I am proud of her. But others were cruel. "So after abandoning your family now, you want to play the victim back? Good riddance. You're just running because you couldn't handle the criticism. Your followers made you, and now you are turning your back on us." The negativity stung, but Adora refused to let it deter her. Adora stood outside Mama Emeka's house, her heart pounding. She hadn't spoken to Emeka for weeks, and she didn't know how he would react showing up unannounced. She knocked softly, and Mama Emeka opened the door. The older woman's expression was guarded. "What do you want, Adora?" "I came to see my husband and daughter," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Mama Emeka stepped aside reluctantly, letting her in. Emeka was sitting in the living room reading a book to Kamsi. When he saw Adora, his expression hardened. "Adora," he said, his tone cold, "why are you here?" "I am sorry," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I know I have messed up big time. I know I hurt you and Kamsi. But I have changed, Emeka. I have left TikTok. I want to fix this. I want us to be a family again." Emeka looked at her for a long moment before turning to his daughter Kamsi. "Go play with grandma for a bit." Once Kamsi was out of earshot, Emeka stood. "Do you have any idea what you have put us through, Adora? Do you know how many nights I stayed up wondering if I should fight for this marriage or let it go?" "I do," she said, her voice shaking. "And I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you. Please, Emeka. I love you. I love Kamsi. I'll do whatever it takes to earn your trust again." He sighed, turning a hand through his hair. "This isn't going to be easy. Adora, trust doesn't come back overnight. I don't care how long it takes," she said. "I just want my family back." The road to healing was long and painful, but Adora was determined. She started attending therapy with Emeka, learned to balance her time, and focused on being present for her family. Emeka even opened a little shop for her to start selling foodstuffs, and also another boutique for her to handle. Her phone sat forgotten for days, a symbol of life she had left behind. Instead of chasing followers, she found joy in her daughter's laughter and her husband's quiet support. In time, the cracks in their marriage began to mend, and Adora rediscovered what truly mattered. The glaze and glamour of TikTok were gone, but in their place was something far more precious: a second chance. Thank you for watching African Tales by Sharon. Let me know your thoughts about the story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So tell me, what was your favorite part about the story? Till I come your way next time. Bye.